DJ Diddles. And Niles was like, did you just say DJ Diddles? And I was like, yeah, DJ Diddles, your own personal DJ. And he's like, I'm like, well, you never heard a girl say that? He's like, that's how men talk, Caitlin.
Yeah, they're just having a wank.
Okay, this is her.
Yeah, let me see that bitch. Well, she's really cute.
Oh, no, that's okay. Usually that's the last picture.
Oh, she's really cute.
Yeah. But yeah, that was on Bumble.
She looking for a girlfriend?
I don't know. All she wrote in her, what did she write in her
Didn't you
thing?
say, like, it says what you're...
Well, because I was flipping around, so I don't know which way I met her, because I was going from friend to dating. I was going back and forth on selecting women, just men.
Yeah, you were playing around with the app.
Yeah. All her info says is hairbrushes are actually microphones. I don't put pineapple on pizza. Writing is my hobby. I voted for a woman in the last election. Team tatted, made in Colorado. That's all.
She sounds a little basic.
I'm basic.
Yeah, I suppose you do have fucking pumpkin pie and cat socks on right now.
Oh, you're attractive.
Are you just like on fucking... I can't even say you're on Tinder. Like
it's not. It's a Bumble.
Yeah.
And every time you get a new match, it's like there's a new bee in the hive.
That's some gay shit.
No.
I like how you say yes to the Mr. Abs McGee, and then like any other schmuck, you're like, yeah, fuck that.
Fine, I'll go with Lumberjack. Oh, I matched him. There's a new bee in the hive.
Oh.
That's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I know. I'm a pretty impressive person.
Well, yeah, it says, we know you're busy bee. You only have 24 hours to start chatting, and then you send a message. Then the 24 hours starts over, and they have 24 hours to respond. And if they don't respond to you...
Do they go back in the queue to, like, swipe again?
Sometimes.
It's like, what if you forget a day?
Yeah, well, it's not... It doesn't always do that for every message. After you send a couple messages back and forth, it stops doing that.
Okay.
That's the same fucking picture.
No, one clearly has an artistic filter on it. What?
God damn it.
Am I wrong?
No. My eyeball.
My eye. What?
Oh, I got a new bee.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, what this is gonna be the Caty Goes on Bumble hour.
Oh, no.
Bumbling around Bumble. New segment, guys.
Oh, no, I think I unmatched that hairy fuck. I was gonna show you what he looked
The
like.
filtered lumberjack or a different one?
Different one.
Okay.
The guy that I was talking about earlier where it was like, we exchanged Snapchats, but he doesn't
the homely fellow.
Yes, that one.
He's
not
Your whole
homely.
demeanor changes, like, yeah, that one.
Just no.
So, here's a thought. You ever, like, you're in the shower, and you, like, spit, but you, like, accidentally spit on yourself, but then you're kind of cool with it and rub it all over yourself, like, yeah, I'm a dirty girl.
I haven't done that. I usually, like, if I pee in the shower, I'll kick it around with my feet.
And then you're like, yeah, I'm a really dirty girl.
I'm just gross.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like you can be, like, infinitely grosser in the shower.
Because you're getting clean at the same time.
Yeah. Well...
I was just...
What?
I had a burp. I was just say, it's like God's blind spot. It's just everything that happens in the shower doesn't actually happen in the shower.
Yeah. So you can be a dirty girl. And then come out clean.
Exactly.
And no one's the wiser. That's all I'm saying.
No. Oh, God, one time I left my dildo in the shower, and Will came over. I always leave my shower curtain open, and he's just like, Caitlin. I'm like, oh, shit, sorry. It's fine.
Like, he doesn't have one.
Right? He's like, look at my new anal bead wand. Isn't it pretty? And I'm like...
You should have been like, Will! You little slut! And then he probably would have said something really sassy back.
The other day, he's like, do you ever just get sick of people? I'm like, yeah, I get sick of you all the time. He's like, what? He's like, I thought you never got sick of me. Like, I'm allowed to get sick of you, but you can't get sick of me. And I'm like,
what kind of What
like,
shit is that?
Like, everybody has their limits. Like, he's like, what's mine? I'm like, I don't know. Some days you're just too much. And I just don't talk to you.
I'm sure that made him feel loved.
You know what? He needs that every once in a while.
A stern talking to.
Just like, just Will, just...
Calm your tit.
Yeah. My favorite's it's a rich people thing, Caitlin. You wouldn't understand.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like one time we were doing family dinner. He made chicken taquitos, a salmon rice dish, and what was it? And baked potatoes.
It's kind of a weird combination.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a lot of food. And he's like, you can have more than one side, Caitlin. It's a rich people thing. You wouldn't understand. And I was like, none of it goes together even. Like, I'm like, maybe baked potatoes and like the salmon rice dish, but even then, he's like, it's rich people food. You wouldn't understand. I'm like, chicken.
A baked potato?
I'm like, chicken taquitos that are burnt on the bottom are rich people food.
You're like, if you're fucking coming up front like that, I'm gonna whip it right back at you.
That was like when he's like, I'm actually really impressed with your dinner, Caitlin. And then I forgot to make my Caesar salad, like, as, like, my side.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck. When we were done, I was like, I forgot to make my Caesar salad. All we had were breadsticks with the ravioli. And he's like, I was going to say, you were lacking. And I was like, I'm like, you're full anyway. We're not even ready for dessert, you fuck. Like, shut the fuck up. And his desserts weren't that great either. Literally, I scooped out the filling and just ate the chocolate shell with cashews.
What was it?
It was like, it called for 6 cups of sugar, first of all.
Oh, you made it. Okay.
He made it, because whoever makes the dinner, the other person makes the dessert and brings it over.
Okay.
And, it was supposed to be those maple glazed balls, but instead he did lemon, because he couldn't find maple glaze. He's like, I can't find it at Target. I'm like, why don't you go to the grocery store? Because it's cash-wise. It's second rate. Like,
what?
Yes, he's very... See, look, that didn't even help.
It's fine.
But yeah, no, he does that a lot, and it's just like, stop.
Yeah, I'll go to your fucking Whole Foods Trader Joe bullshit and spend a lot of money that I don't have.
I have to go to Coburn's. Coburn's and Cashwise are... Their coupons go to each other. They're the same. They're the same company. One's just cheaper.
I think you mean lesser. Excuse you.
Yeah, I know. Fucking A. My favorite was when, he's like, oh, your deep fried Oreos are second rate, aren't they? And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, motherfucker, I pulled out the name brand Oreo package. He's like, what kind of oil are you using?
Who the fuck says that about any deep fried food? Of like, oh, this is second rate. Like, bitch, you're eating deep fried food.
I'm like, and he's like, where's your powdered sugar? I'm like, it's deep fried Oreos. Do you really need powdered sugar on them? Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go into diabetic coma over here. He was so disappointed. I'm like,
yeah, do you want some of my insulin with your dessert there?
I can just inject the insulin inside.
Yeah,
like
two birds, one stone.
I love him, but sometimes.
Have you ever, speaking of needles, have you ever used your needles to inject anything into something?
I've used my needles on blisters to suck out the water.
Oh, do you use it like with the plunge? Like you actually use it to suck, or you just like
suck it? Yeah,
it?
I suck it. I poke it in there and I suck it out.
That's gross.
Or I just like poke it. And
I'm sure it's very satisfying though.
Oh, it is. or I'll stick the needle in there and I'll just push on the side after I take the needle out and push all the water out.
It's a little more than water, I think, but
it's always clear. But yeah,
it's a blister.
All the blister stuff, I just like push it out, and
then you're like, I'm clean now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh. Yeah. I had a blister. So I processed my rope the other week. But I had to.
What does that mean?
Well, okay, so I dyed it, and then I basically not like it was coming undone, but I like by hand tightened the the coil on it kind of thing to like strengthen it, and then coated it and like lightly coated it in beeswax. But I did it all by hand, you know.
Is that so you don't get rope burns and stuff? The beeswax?
Well, no, it's more just like so that it's taking care of your rope so it lasts longer, kind of thing. I mean, I guess I don't know for sure if it helps with any rope burns or anything. I feel like if you're doing rope bondage, discomfort probably isn't,
as high.
No, it just isn't as much of a factor, because maybe that's the point. But, no, I got fucking... So I worked on that because I was really trying to get it done, as quickly as I could, just so that I could be done with it.
Yeah.
And, I got some blisters on my hands that ended up lasting way longer than I thought they would. Like, and I don't get blisters that often, and when I do, they seem to go away really quick, but those ones didn't, so it's just like, man, this fucking sucks. Oh, I need to tell you my, fucking, creepy pedo story. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I
don't care. Well, I don't even remember his full name, so it's not like I can tell the whole world his name is this and he's at this address. Dox him. Like, no, I don't.
What did he do this time?
No, I haven't seen the dude in years. I'm about due for a fucking run-in with him though, because
Wait, I thought it was this guy, your next door neighbor.
Oh. No. No,
okay.
Not that one.
Oh, what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, different creep in my life. A reoccurring creep that, I don't know if you remember him, or I guess even if you've interacted with him, but back when I lived, in, Coon Rapids, in that apartment with my dad, yeah. So, I lived there, and, Taylor was down the street, or whatever, and, there was this goth kid that lived on her block, and, well...
Lauren?
No. It was like some older guy, but he was in high school, and I think, yeah, because I remember we all rode the same bus.
Okay.
I think they were seniors and we were freshmen or something, and that's the thing, is it makes sense when you're like, I don't know, I feel like most seniors got car, or like, drove or rode with their friends to school, so it was kind of weird. I think one of them was a super senior.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
I like that they called them super seniors.
We had those too. My cousin was a super senior.
No child left behind.
Still didn't graduate. Got his GT.
Yeah, so anyway, okay, so, and, like, back then, you would hang out in the neighborhood and just, like, hang around on the street. And play with the kids on the street, whatever. So, Taylor, of course, was like, oh man, this guy, because he's the other goth kid. So of course, it's like, oh, I want to hang out with him.
Wait, was that guy that lived, like, 2 doors down? The weird kid? What was that kid's name?
I think that's the pedo guy.
Did he have crazy hair?
Well, he had red hair. He was a ginger kid. But
he lived, like, a couple doors down from Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. With, like, the blue house or whatever. Why do I remember weird shit like that?
It was a blue house. Holy shit.
Why am I like this? I'm telling you, I am not to sound...
You're on the spectrum here?
Yes, I think... I was going to say something else, but no. Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, did I take it too far?
No, I was going to say something that took it far, but I didn't want to sound terrible, but now I don't remember what I was going to say anyway. But sometimes...
Because I went straight to that autismo thing.
But no, sometimes I think I am on the spectrum. Because of just weird shit that I do, I'm just like...
You might be.
I think I am. Me and my cat are on the autistic spectrum together. I literally told my mom, I'm like, my cat's autistic, I think. Like...
Then you're gonna get her tested. You'll see. But yeah, okay, so... I don't know if, like, the kid that you're thinking of is the kid that I'm talking about, but probably. At least that house is the correct house, because what it was the goth kid had his, like, semi-goth friend who was the creep.
Yeah.
And he, like, stayed with him. It was kind of that whole, like, oh, I have a broken home, so I live with my friend, kind of situation where it was like, oh, okay, whatever. And, and he rode our bus. And, so we had to interact with, we didn't have to interact with them, but we interacted with them just because, like, well, we're in close proximity to things that we need to attend, whatever. And, I never got a very, like, he was this ginger kid that, like, fucking wore trip pants and, like...
he had no soul.
Yeah, that's it. I should have known. No, he really put off, like, those weird vibes. And his buddy was nice. Like, he wasn't super interesting to me. He was just, like, a guy. But he was definitely more comfortable to be around than... I'm gonna call him Mark, because I think that's what his name was, but I honestly cannot remember for the life of me his full name, or if that was his real name, but, yeah, so Mark, whatever, and, he, like, I don't know, he's one of those kids, too, like, the weird kids that, I don't know, they give you that weird vibe.
You're just like,
they don't take social cues, so, like,
yeah.
if you don't...
No, I know what you mean, where it's like, I'm okay with weird people, but you're like that uncomfortable.
Yeah, like you can't take a hint if I don't want to talk about this subject, or I just don't want to talk today, like, always like super upbeat and ready to talk, and holy shit, I'm like almost manic, like kind of weird, right? And like, that underlying, like, I feel like you're kind of a creep, dude.
Yeah.
And so I never was totally comfortable around him, whatever. But it's not like I like hung out alone with him or anything. It was just I saw him around. And,
I'm listening, but I'm also looking at spinner rings.
Okay.
I just don't want you to be like, what the fuck are you doing over there?
You're ignoring me. You hate my story.
Like, it says Bali spinner ring, but does that mean it's a spinner ring?
You should just get a D20 ring.
Okay. I'll look at those.
Very good.
Okay, go back.
Oh, yeah, so the... One day, he's on the bus, and he's super quiet, which he was not a quiet person. Like, he was like, oh, I'm crazy, look at me, like, piece of shit, whatever, like, he was, and, so it was really, really weird, and of course, me being, like, the human being that I am, was like, hey, Mark, what's up, are you okay? Like, we're not gonna find you later hanging somewhere, are we? I mean, I didn't say that to him.
Yeah, but like, that's what
I was just
you're like, you're not gonna shoot up the school, buddy, are you?
Yeah. Leave out my classroom.
Today's not the day, right? I asked you how you were doing this morning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I prolonged the inevitable. What? So, okay. So he's real quiet, and he's like, I just found out that, I have to do something, and I really don't want to have to do it, and I was just like, whoa, because you got, like, really serious, and it was just so strange, so I'm like, what's up? And, and I felt really bad, like, in that instant, because my immediate thought was, like, something's off here, like, this is wrong, like, there is, like, like, I have a feeling something's weird, and then he goes, yeah, I have to, be on the sex offender registry, and I was like, what?
In what grade was this?
He was a senior, and I think I was a...
So it was high school?
Yeah, it was high school, but I mean, we were on the bus or whatever, and what have you, but I was just... Or I think he was a senior. He was definitely older than me.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh. And of course in my mind it was like, I knew it! Like, lights going up, like, oh shit, I knew it! And like, I knew he was creepy, I knew there was something going on, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. I want to be the better man here. I want to know. And I was just, and then but this is all like in that split instant of like,
you're just
so he's sitting next to me, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Like in the same bus seat?
Yeah, or he was like in the one in front of me, but doing that whole like lean behind thing.
Yeah.
So he's right there. And so it's just like, well, why?
Yeah.
It's just like what happened? And and then he was like, it's one of those things where her parents are making it happen because it was my girlfriend, and since I'm legally, of age, and she's, underage, technically underage, like, she doesn't have a problem with it, but her parents do, and I'm thinking in my mind, too.
You're like in your mind, you're like, how old is she?
Well,
That's what I'd be thinking.
I think he said, like, 16 or 17, or maybe he didn't even say, but still the point being is I was thinking about it, and I was like, I've heard of stories like this. I feel really incredibly bad for the people, like you hear about those guys that take a piss, like, on the way home from the bar in a park, and they, like, you're
a sex offender.
Now. Yeah. So I'm like, I know weird situations like these happen, and it's really unfortunate, and like, whatever, but I didn't feel like that was the whole case with this guy, so it's just like, but I wasn't gonna say that, be like, you're a fucking liar,
I don't believe you, shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't believe you. It's just kind of like, I kind of filed it away, like, okay, don't talk to him anymore. Mm-hmm. But, so I was like, that really sucks, I'm sorry, like, hang in there, buddy. Yeah. And then I kind of didn't talk to him. And then he kind of stopped, and he would take long sprints where I wouldn't see him, where he'd presumably be at his folks' house or some couch crashing at someone else's house, because that's kind of what he did. Because he was weird and didn't, I don't know, like...
I don't like to be home.
Yeah, well, I get that if your home life is shit, but it was still just, like, I don't know, it was weird. So I didn't see him for quite a while. And then, like... there was a long stint of, like, not seeing him, and then, I think I had another interaction with him, too, where it was just really awkward, and, it's like, oh, hey, and then, him, like, kind of doing that whole, like, manic, oh my god, I'm so happy, and blah, 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 but, like, and if I remember correctly, too, he was kind of that guy that, like, was, like, that constant flirt.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, but like that awkward...
Tried to flirt.
But the point being, too, is that he didn't take social cues of one to stop with shit, so it's like that, it really got, it got uncomfortable very fast talking to him. So it's just like, okay. And, so yeah, then, one day, like, I don't know, maybe a year or two later... it's like in the morning time, the news is on, like, whatever, like, I was living with my dad, and, I think it was before school or something, and fucking, the news talks about how there was a rapist raped some girl during school hours, like, something like that, kind of, like, whatever, and I'm watching it like, man, fucking news never has any good things on it, whatever. Guess whose picture pops up?
Oh, no.
I was like, holy shit! And then I, like, screamed, I was like, oh my god! Like, I yelled. And my dad's like, whoa, what? I'm like, I know that guy! I was like, I know him! I knew it!
You're like...
Yeah, I was like, I knew he was a piece of shit! And they're like, oh my god! So I was like, holy shit, okay. I was right! Like, he's a creep, like... For real, don't ever talk to him again if you see him. And I hadn't seen him for a really long time. Like, no wonder he's busy raping people. Like, whatever. Well, he was! Like, I think he had been transferred to a different school or something. Because it was, like, at a different school. Or maybe that's just where she went. Or I don't know, but it was just like, holy fuck, dude. Okay. So then, like, another amount of time passes. Not too long or anything. But I'm just, like, I'm thinking of all these crazy run-ins with this guy, right? And I'm telling my boyfriend at the time this. We're walking down the street, like, in the neighborhood, because I still lived there.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you want to hear this crazy story about this fucking rapist that I knew? That, like, he just keeps randomly appearing in my life and being just generally creepy. And so as I'm telling him about it, he's like, whoa, man, that's weird. A car pulls up.
Oh, no.
No, right? A car pulls up, and, it's him. He wasn't the one driving. He was, like, a passenger, but I think the other kid that he had lived with before was the driver. Anyway, he was in the car, he pulls over and rolls the window. It's like, oh my god, Ash, hey, it's been so long, and I'm just like, I do not know what to say. It was just the weirdest coincidence that I was talking about him. Literally, I had just finished, like, I was just talking about him, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's here, like, I fucking,
You're just like, speak of the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, like, fucking Beetlejuice, motherfucker, like, Mark McFucking Rape Pants, like, I don't...
Mark McRape.
It was really, really weird and really unsettling, because I was like, holy shit, like, what?
Don't you hate that when that happens and you're just like...
Yeah. Well, yeah, so after I fucking summoned him, I guess, we have this really awkward exchange of like, oh, hey. And then he's like, oh my god, how have you been? I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh man, well, we're in the middle of something, but like, we should hang out sometime. Like, it's really good to see you. And they drive off. And then I look at my boyfriend, he looks at me, and we kind of do that, like, glance back and forth thing, and he's just like, no way. No, because he doesn't know what he looks like.
Oh, he's just like...
Yeah, but, like, he knew...
From the looks, he was just like, shit, no fucking way.
Yeah, no way. I was like, holy shit. That was him.
Just scared the fuck out of your cat.
Oh, she's fine.
I'm scary. I'm scary.
She's getting spooked by my story. Mark is gonna come to my door.
What'd you do?
Fuck. Okay, so I remembered the other interaction that I had with him. It was before the news had happened. It was homecoming, and it must have been my fucking freshman year, because like I didn't fucking go to any of that shit like later years.
I was gonna say we only went once to yours.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And like fucking everyone was on E and shit. Like
what?
Yeah. Didn't I? Yeah. Like, well, not necessarily all the people I was hanging out with, but like a ton of like the jock kids and stuff. They were like, oh yeah, man, I got some E, and it was just like, what the fuck? Like, all right. But anyway, so yeah, no, it was, I had an interaction with him there, is what it was, and, which was also really creepy, because at that point I was like, I know that, like, I kind of want to avoid this guy, he seems like a creep. I think at this point I had known that he said, oh, I have to register as a sex offender, because I was really, at this point I remember I was really weary about him, and, so I see him there, which is like, great, you're at a high school event with a bunch of kids. But I mean, like, he was a kid, you know, well, I mean, he was
a high schooler.
Yeah, I think he was 19, because I think he was a super senior, or he was at the very least, he was 18.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like he didn't belong there, but it was just really weird.
It's like, you shouldn't be around the rest of us.
Yeah.
One of these things is not like the other, and it's you.
Yeah. And your fucking creepy, like, gangly fingers touching girls.
I just thought of salad fingers.
Yeah, it was him. But a ginger. With trip pants. And freckles everywhere.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so, I was with a group of friends or something. I don't know if you were there or not, honestly, like, maybe you were, I don't know. But, the point being is some of the people that I was with knew of him and had interacted with him before, and they kind of knew that, like, yeah, no, to stay away from that guy. So he comes up all super chippy, like, oh my god, Ash, so it's really cool to see you, like, isn't this crazy, haha, high school stuff, this is so dumb and conforming, like, okay, guy.
Do you know, okay, the way you're talking about, I just think of fucking Matthew McConaughey and Dazed and Confused. High school girls, I love them. They stay the same age, or I stay the same age. And
oh my god. Yeah, yeah, so, you know, he's like, and then, you know, he's like talking to Mile a minute too, like really, you know, like not letting me get in a word, like I can't deflect this guy, and especially then too, my confidence was not as high as it is now, so it's just like, hi, you know, and, he's like, hey, yeah, so, like, we should really hang out sometime, and, like, I don't actually have your number, and, like, he thrust his phone into my hand and was like, here, why don't you just enter your phone number, like, put him by my contacts, and I was just like,
did you give it to him?
Well, at that point, I'm like, oh my god, you know, because, like, he had his friends there, and then my friends, and, like, I didn't want to make it super weird, and, like,
I would just given him a messed up number.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. Yeah, so he thrusts his phone at me, like, hey, you know, and I'm like, okay. And, he, like, his background, by the way, was a girl's titties with nipple piercings, and he's like, oh, don't mind that, that's just this girl I know. It's like, okay.
Like, nice. This just some girl you know that's on your phone.
It was just kind of more like, all these little things are adding up, and it's just like, oh, okay. And, so he's like, yeah, and so I give him a false number, and I give it back to him. I was like, alright, see ya! And, like, me and my friends go somewhere else, and they're looking at me, they're like, did you really just give him your number? I was like, fuck no! Absolutely not! But what was I supposed to do? He just, like, gave me his phone, and it had, like, tits on it, and I don't know what to do with that. How am I supposed to process all this information at once? Like, you know, I'm only 15. And,
oh, God.
So, yeah, I haven't,
See, we didn't have any, like, sex offender-y people at my school. We just had a kid that wanted to bomb the school.
Well, not that you knew of.
That's true. Fair enough.
But it's just, so yeah, and then after that, then the whole fucking television thing happened, and then the whole fucking being a fucking creep, and, you know, materializing out of fucking my past, and all that happened, and I haven't seen him since. I haven't heard any mention of him.
He's in jail.
I hope so. Or he got help or something, like, but yeah, so that's my story of the fucking creep that keeps on giving, like, he just, every time I tell the story now, it's been years now, but like every time I think of it, I'm like, oh, I'm due for a visit, you know. One of the
Your chin is all wet.
She's got a water beard.
Look at this pig over here.
Yeah, but just one of these days, I'm gonna see him again, and I'll add to the list.
He'll be your pizza delivery man one day.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, hey Ash! It's so amazing to see you! Like, yeah.
I think that girl Danny at your reunion, who turns out to be one of Luke's best friends.
It was strange.
I don't like her.
It also made me realize how different I look from when I was in high school. I thought that I was like this, but apparently I looked a lot, you know...
Like a kid?
Well, fuck off, you know what I mean? Yeah, I look like a sexy little kid that fucking child molesters prey on. What?
No.
What?
No, I know, but no.
Fucking lanky teenager that doesn't know what to do. No. But, well, it was weird, because, well, and, that just reminds me, too, of when we were in the fucking car, and Luke was like, wait, you mean, you know, and then he said my full name, and it was like, wait a minute. We've been hanging out for how long, and you didn't realize I was the same Ash that you went to high school with? How the fuck? Like,
He's
what?
not the smartest.
Well, he only put it together, when we started mentioning things from high school? I was like, oh, you remember when this happened? Wasn't it something like that, too?
Or I think you said, like...
Someone else's name.
Put your shit away.
Oh, is he hot dogging it?
Yeah. It was gross.
You know what my mom said the other day? She was talking about her dog's dick, which, is a whole beast in itself. She was talking about it really casually, too. It was very strange. This is coming from a furry, okay? Like, this is weird. It was putting me off. But she was like, yeah, he was, you know, his lipstick was out the other day. And I was like, wait,
God,
what?
Why do you call it that?
No!
I know. First of all, no.
I know. I was like, what?
I'm not going to unthink of that. And when I see lipstick now, that's what I'm going to pair it with.
You're welcome. Oh, I know. Well, and it was funny, too, because I knew what she was like, my mind got it. I was like, okay, I know what you're talking, like, I would have said Red Rocket or something.
That's what I think of, too. That's what I call it.
Because that's what everyone says. It's like, if you have to talk, why would you need to? But, okay. Yeah. But she, you know, she was talking about how, I don't fucking know. Because they're like, oh, we don't know if we're even going to neuter him. It's like, okay.
Oh, you don't have Instagram? Let me show you this picture your mom posted.
Was it a dog dick?
It was just giant dog balls.
What? What?
Hold on.
Why does my mom do this? What? Why? It wasn't just of that, though, right?
No,
Not like showcasing
no.
it. Okay. The way you're making it seem is... Oh my god. That's awful, dude.
I showed my mom, and my mom's like, why?
It's natural.
Just one ball, though. Just one.
He's just peeping out, saying hi.
And then she does just such mom captions, too.
Oh, I know. She's very mom-like. She got a Snapchat the other day.
She added me.
I bet she did. Yeah, she added me, too, and then kept sending me, like, a million pictures with filters, and was like, haha, this is fun! Tony made me get this! I was like, okay, Mom.
I feel bad, because she posted a picture of Rowdy and Bunny, and now I know she doesn't have Bunny anymore.
I know. Are you looking at my mom's Instagram now?
Yeah. It's layered cake.
Let me see it.
It's like an ice cream thing.
I made that shit.
What is it? It looks good.
It's, there's chocolate devil's food cake. There's chocolate pudding. There's chocolate frosting drizzle. There are raspberries.
Raspberries?
They are raspberries. Thank you very fucking much. And Cool Whip.
Whip.
Yep, and what else was there?
Mini marshmallows.
Yeah, and mini marshmallows. So they were all layered. So there was like a layer of cake, and then a layer of pudding, and then a layer of like Cool Whip, and then frosting, and then, you know, like a repeat until it filled up the ice cream bucket.
Seems like a lot of it.
It was. Well, it was like my mom, you know, her husband, both my grandparents, and then me and Matt were up there. So it was like, you know, it was like all of us, and so we just shared it around. I was like, all right, I'll bring dessert. it's gonna give you diabetes.
Ooh, I got a good story, like, about, like, when we were discussing if we were going to talk about shitty neighbors or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Fucking, I remember one night I was being a good noodle, and I decided to do my homework.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my roommate was gone, so I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna sit in the living room in my underwear, be a good noodle, order some Domino's, and do homework. Fuck yeah, I'm so good.
Were you such a good noodle that you were gonna doodle?
No.
Doodle your poodle?
No. No. But all of a sudden I'm reading and waiting for the pizza man, and I hear like a crack into my front door, and I'm like, what the fuck? I go out into the living room, like, I fucking pull on some pants, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And I open the
Jack
door.
Nicholson out here with an axe!
And there's this girl crying in the living room, in the hallway, holding her fucking shoulder, just like beet red, crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, I was just thrown into your door. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking heard it. Are you like, broken?
Yeah, you were.
And I was like, did you break? Because like with that amount of force, it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, probably like shit your pants a little. Huh?
And then her boyfriend's like sobbing drunkenly on the stairs because he's like, I just abused my girlfriend. It's like, fuck yeah, you did. You threw her into my door.
Oh my god.
And then all of a sudden, I walk her down to her apartment because she lived at the end of the hall.
So you knew her before then?
Like, we just, like, passed each other in the hall.
Okay, so this isn't the meth head couple?
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, so this was before that incident, or this is?
This is the incident.
Okay. No, keep going.
No, like, her and I had, like, casually, like, oh, we're walking at the same time. My name's...
Here's my dog.
Yeah. And, so I walk her down the end of the hall, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And then he, like, comes down the hall, like, stammering, all drunk, crying, like...
Being a fucking mess.
We'll change her name for purposes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bailey, like...
Protect the uninnocent.
Yeah.
You go right ahead.
Just like, Bailey, blah, 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 like, I'm sorry, but why would you do this to me? She's like, what? And he's like, you punched me first. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
You're like, what kind of conundrum have I gotten myself into now?
Not that she should hit you, but you shouldn't hit her back. Like, yeah. He's like, well, she hit me, she punched me. She's like, he was talking to other women. And then she goes into the apartment and locks him out. And he's like, can I just have my cell phone? Like, and he's like, Bailey, let me in right now. I'm like, you need to not scream. And I'm like, calm down. Like, I know that's the worst thing to say to someone who's all worked up, but like, do not scream or you're gonna get the cops called on you because I think
that is the best way to de-escalate a fucking situation like that. It's like, you're gonna get the cops called on you if you don't shut the fuck up.
And my neighbors that I'm like buddy with, my big black guy friend neighbor.
Yeah.
And then the couple who smoked weed all the time when their kids are being watched, like, they're all like have their heads out the door, like, what the...
all rubbernecking, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they're like, do we need to call the cops? I'm like, not yet. Like, I will give you a thumbs up from down the hall if you need to. And they're like, okay, sounds good. And then, like...
it's like, you're the small girl, and they're like, this is clearly the authority figure. She's got this handled.
I'm the small little white college girl student. And then there's this big black guy. And then, like...
these fucking stoner guys.
And these adults here, adults. And I'm just like, they're just like, yeah, okay, you'll handle this. And I'm like...
probably because they didn't want to deal with it. Like, fuck this, we're gonna pack another bowl.
Well, and you know what's funny? Is the big black guy neighbor and the stoner, like, the parents...
yeah.
They would, like, go over to each other's apartments and smoke weed. Yeah, it's like, invite me.
Where's my invite? I'm taking care of the dirty laundry in the hallway here. And you don't even invite me to your little fucking powwow. Like, come on.
So then she comes out of the apartment finally.
Yeah.
All pissed and worked up.
Not crying anymore.
Probably smoked a bowl of meth while she was in there.
I think that would be a crack pipe then. I don't know if you call it a bowl of meth. I think you'd say a pipe of meth. I don't know. One crack rock, right? I don't know what the technical term is.
One meth.
Yeah, one meth. But stick a fucking hit off of that shit.
But so she comes out with a little tiny Victoria's Secret bag. She's like, I'm running late for work. I'm taking your birthday present and I'm gonna wear it to work at the strip club. And I'm like, fucking A. I'm like, please stop, Bailey. Just stop it. You're just
embarrassing yourself.
You are escalating this. I was calming him the fuck down, and then all of a sudden he throws her against the wall again. I'm like,
oh my god,
please stop. And then the neighbors down the hall, now? And I'm like,
yep.
I throw a thumbs up, yeah. And like, cop comes. So cop comes, and he's like, okay, awesome. You're the one handling the situation. Who called the cops? I'm like, my neighbor's down the hall. I gave him a thumbs up.
Yeah, like I gave him the go ahead. No one does anything around here without checking with me first.
Kinda. And so then the cop's like, okay, my partner's coming. Will you go downstairs and open the door for her? And I was like, yeah, no problem. And he's like, okay, I gotta go downstairs. Like, I'm gonna talk to the girl. You seem to be doing a really good job keeping that belligerent drunk guy calm.
Yeah.
You're not trained for this, but go handle the really, really drunk guy, and I'm gonna talk to the tweaking meth head. I'm like, oh shit, she's on meth? He's like, you couldn't tell? I'm like, I just thought she was all
like,
crazily...
I just thought the bitch was cray.
Yeah, like crazy worked up because he threw her into my fucking door. I'd be all
threw her around twice.
I'm like, I'd be all worked up too.
And she's late for her shift at the strip joint.
Yeah, oh, fucking A. And then the guy's brother came, and they're like, okay, go talk to the brother. And I'm like, are you going to pay me for this? Give me cop salary.
Am I a junior deputy?
Where's my little junior detective sticker? My little gold star.
I deserve a gold star.
Where's my fake gun and handcuffs, too, please? Oh, that was such a situation. Then the bitch finally moved out, and her tweaker friends. Oh, the best part was... The two, they were living together, and they had restraining orders on each other.
So they weren't living together.
No, they were.
So it was just like when one of them pissed each other off, they called the cops to enforce it?
Yeah. Like, it's like,
what the fuck?
And they had a kid together, and she took away his rights a long time ago. It's like, I don't understand your situation. But anyway.
You don't need to. You just need them not throwing each other and body slamming into your door, being fucking stone cold Steve Austin.
No, but so then she was finally moving the fuck out, and her tweaker friend stole my fucking fall wreath.
That's right. They put it for the public to display.
God, they put it on the exit sign at the end of the hallway, which I could never reach. And luckily, my old roommate, who still lived down the hall in our old apartment, was like, yeah, I was leaving for work at like 6 in the morning, and I saw it on the exit sign at the end of the hall, so I jumped up.
That fucker cost me $20!
Yeah! I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, so I just came back down and put it on your door. And I'm like, oh, you do love me. He's like, all right, bye.
It's not a miracle.
But yeah, then the best part was the maintenance guy, after they moved out, have you seen any bugs lately? And I'm like, what kind of bugs? Oh, no, never mind then. They were fucking cockroaches, and I found one a month later. Ugh. God, I was pissed.
He just didn't want to worry.
He didn't. And the manager's husband's like, fuck this company. I don't work for them. There were hundreds of roaches in that apartment. I'm like, I didn't need to know that.
You're like, I still live here. Please don't tell me that.
Yeah. Oh, motherfuckers.
I like, too, that they treat some apartments, but not all of them, and, like, oh, yeah, that'll be fine.
It's like they migrate.
Yeah, that's how that works.
And you're supposed to, if you treat one apartment, you're supposed to treat above, below, and side to side.
You're supposed to treat, like, the whole fucking building, because, holy shit, it's like bugs go through walls.
Well,
you know?
and the thing
like,
is, it's not a huge building. It's only 30 apartments. It's literally like a brick wall of a building.
Yeah. It's their building now.
It really is. I found one of them motherfuckers in my bathroom the other day. It took me 40 minutes to catch the fucker, but I did it.
Okay, would you rather have that, or would you rather have house centipedes?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the cockroaches, because I've only seen 2 in the, 4 years.
And they only have 6 legs and not fucking a million gangly little gross...
They're fast motherfuckers, though. I didn't realize that. I screamed.
I think so are the house centipedes. They have more legs. More fast. What? They're gross.
They're so... That
was fucking... Oh my god. So Chelsea calls me the other day at I don't know, it was probably 11 or something. And I mean, it was I think it was a work night. I can't remember, but it was, I was about to go to sleep because I was really tired I was super tired, but she calls me, she's like, hey babe, how are you? I'm fine. She's like, oh no, did I wake you? I was like, no, you're good, baby. What up? And she's like, so there's a spider in my house. I was like, okay.
And you're like, what do you want me to do about it?
She's like, so I had to leave the room.
Or is she allergic to those too?
No. No. She's like,
come on, I'm funny.
It was kind of funny. But yeah, she goes, well, I can't, she was like, it's on the ceiling, and it's like 6 feet out of my reach, I can't, and I was like, well, just kill it, and she's like, I can't reach it, and I can't do that, can you just, what are you doing right now? It's like, bitch, you're not serious, are you? Like, do you really want me to come over and drive all the way there?
Drive, like, what, 15, 20 minutes just to kill the spider?
Yeah, like, when I'm super tired, and
it'd be different if it was, like, maybe a 5-minute drive. Maybe. And you weren't already in bed.
It's you can handle a goddamn spider. Well, first of all, it wasn't bugging her. Like, it was just chilling. I was like, it's helping you. Like, if it's not super invading your space and biting you, it's only helping your household. There's no fucking way that I'm coming to your house just to kill this goddamn spider. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like, we were already gonna be hanging out and it was like, hey, can you come over earlier or something? But
yeah.
like, no, like, you can deal with it. Like, the spider's your fucking friend, like, helping you clear your house of little pests.
I will say there was one night where I always like to play phone games before falling asleep. I feel like they just help me fall asleep faster.
Okay. It's probably, like, super inaccurate.
Well, I don't know. I always fall asleep playing them. Okay. So, I was playing solitaire.
It's boring as fuck.
I was playing solitaire. Fall solitaire, to be exact.
So, yeah.
And I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I see something on my peripherals and I look up and it's just a spider hanging like this far above my body and I'm like, I just like flatten myself and I like slide out sideways all flat.
You
and
fucking
like,
shimmy out of the way.
I'm like, Anna, there's a spider. She's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm like, no, get your ass up and go kill this spider for me, bitch.
I couldn't.
She did it for me. That bitch, that crazy bitch. She killed the spider for me. She's crazy, but she cares sometimes. Until she's spreading lies about me.
It's bad that, like, I immediately thought of, like, spreading ass cheeks.
She always tried to get me to... I feel like she had this weird crush on me. She always wanted me to go get my asshole waxed with her. She's like, let's make it, like, a day.
And then you can, like, get it bleached and all.
She's like, it's just like somebody slapping your butthole.
That's what you want.
She's like, it's just like...
Has she done it before?
Yeah, she said she does. She's like, it's just like I can't do the pop noise, but she's like, it's just like, yeah. She's like, it's just real quick. It kind of feels nice, Caitlin. Let's make a day out of it, and we can get coffee afterwards. I was like, how will we go get our nails done? I'll keep my butthole hairy if that's fine with you. She's like, don't those little hairs bother you? I'm like, everybody has them.
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't care. I don't need my butthole waxed.
She just really wanted a clean plate for her to eat off of later.
I remember one time she went into my roommate's room.
Yeah.
She's like, I just want to, like, make him happy.
What?
Yeah, she's like, I just want to, like, suck his dick a little, make out with him, make him happy, you know, tease him a little bit.
That's rape!
And then she
if he was sleeping.
Well, he was laying, like, he had just gone into bed.
So that's rape!
And so then all of a sudden she comes running into my room. She's like, and, like, jumps into my bed. I was like, whoa, dude, what the fuck? Because Emily was hanging out, like, for a few days. And I don't
like where this story's going.
This was Emily's first time ever meeting her. And Anna just showed up at my house drunk.
Oh.
So it was just like, who dropped you off? And, like, she's like, I'm just gonna go into Jesse's room and blah, blah, blah.
And you're just like, this is a really bad idea. Please don't do that.
I was like, whatever, you do you.
That's what drunk?
No, because Jesse liked her.
Oh, well, but that's still not okay.
So I was like, she's like, was he sleeping? I was like, he just went into bed, so whatever, you do you.
If she woke him up,
This is my favorite, though. She comes, just busts through my door.
You're like a bat out of hell, right?
And just jumps into my bed. I was like, whoa, guy, like, what the fuck? She's like, he tried to have sex with me. And I'm like, what? Well, what do you expect he's gonna think when you go in there and start diddling his dangle? Like, yeah. She's like, he, like, went for a condom. Like, he just thought I wanted to have sex. I'm like, well, did you touch
having sex.
I was like, did you touch his wiener? And she's like, well, yeah, I wanted to make him happy, but I can't believe he just assumed I wanted sex. Can you believe that? And I was like, yeah, I can. And then she's like, can I kiss your butt? And I'm like, what? I was like, dude, no, what the fuck? She's like, let's just make out. I was like, no. And then she's like, Oh my god, my chocolate's on the floor.
You should have been like, I can't believe you're trying to pressure me into sex right now. I can't believe you.
She's the worst. I'm so happy I'm not involved with her anymore in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Because you're the big home wrecker of the relationship that ended 8 years ago.
God damn it. God. Ugh. I hardly talk to that guy anyways.
Yeah, just... She's bad. Bad news bears. You want a beer?
I gotta pee.
I'm sure a beer will not help that.
How do I pause?
Oh, I can hit the